And welcome to the 1% Club. Great to see you guys today. I am up here in Baltimore, Maryland. If you see that water, that's where the bridge just collapsed. If you've been watching the news nationally, I'm here. I flew over it last night and that thing was gone. I don't know if you watched the news. The barge hit the bridge. It was crazy. So good to be here. Glad I wasn't driving on the bridge. So good to see everybody. All right. Can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me okay. I'm actually sitting in the restaurant. There's nobody in there. This massive, beautiful Marriott hotel. So good to see you guys. Okay. Where are we going to go today? So today I want to start off with this, man. This is the 1% clubs. You guys are doing what only 1% of the EXP agents do. So you can live the way most will never live. You're willing to do things. And I'm watching you, David Marsh, Jay Frank, Craig Nash. What's up, guys? Kevin Utz, Jenna, Liz Brown, Dr. Jamie Bryant. Good to see you guys. Teresa Rosso, good to see you. I watch you guys all the time. Tahoe, Tony, Jason, Reagan Burris. What's up, dude? How you doing? Yeah. You guys think I don't pay attention to you? John Sy, president of Canada, EXP's on here. What's up, Tony? We were in Canada yesterday. So let's get this party started. So one of the things I'm a proponent of is having a hub. Means moving into a Regis and getting an office for $295 a month. There's shared office spaces. You can get a desk for $150 a month. No, you can't. Yes, you can. The prices change. They get hungrier. Or maybe you can work with a probate lawyer, a estate planning attorney, a really sharp CPA, and you cross market each other. Hey, I'll send you everybody for taxes. You send me one who they inherited a home they need to sell. Here's one for $1 million. And they have an extra office and a conference room. You literally can get one for free. If you have a hub, I want to hear about your hub. I want to hear how valuable it's been to you, what your thoughts are on it. So what I want you to do is go down to reactions and then hit it, and then hit raise your hand. I just raised my hand. See that? And then when you want to lower your hand, just click it again and down it goes. So Joanne, yeah, and you can ask questions about hubs, but I specifically want to hear from people who have one and how does it work for you? Fire away, Joanne, fire away.
So I'm fortunate enough. Fall River is a very residential area with a small little commercial space, and Premier Mortgage has 3 mortgage brokers that have a satellite office there. And I've gotten very close to them and I started sharing space. Now it's not just about the space. I have road signs out front, and on the opposite side of the building where my office is, I have my window all market it, and you can see it at the local cafe when they sit on the deck.
Nice.
So yeah, we had somebody drop in the office today, so I got a new client just from the frontage. And I've only been there for 2 months. Really enjoying it. And it gives me a place where I'm more focused because I work at home for the most part. We do have Regis space, but when I'm there at the office, I am more focused and I get more things done. So
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you for sharing. So
you're
there's a
welcome.
great one. She's worked with mortgage brokers. And I'm gonna go to Randy Bird next. Again, if you have office space, thank you, Jay Frank. And we'll go Randy then Jay. But like we have a agent down in Southern California. A certain title company had an extra space they had moved out of it. They're under a lease on it for like 3 more years. They literally gave it to him for like $300 a month. And it is awesome. Palm trees outside, second floor, stunning. And he gets it for $300 a month in Orange. Well, I won't say where. I almost said it, but it is so expensive there. And you just got to get the word out. Coach Randy Bird, fire away.
I do have an office I'll talk about, but we did that as well. We had a Remax agent that needed an office and they went to a lender without thinking about it. We directed that. They got 2 big offices, a concierge that's there like 10 hours a day. The AV in the room is some of the best I've ever seen. $400 a month for 2 offices. Incredible. My situation, we're a virtual company, cloud-based company. So mine is I wanted presence because we're in an area without a Regis. There's 17 in Portland. I don't live by Portland. I'm an hour away. Very much a different country, about an hour away. But the reality, no Regis's in Salem and in Corvallis area. So I got in office, a lot of visibility, 40,000 cars a day. That was my requirement. I don't care about the space, although it's a cool corner space. But it brought the awareness up in 1 year in my area significantly. Everybody I talk to now goes, "Oh yeah, EXP. I've seen your offices. I have one. It's the only one in town. It's 1,000, 1,200 square feet, but the presence is powerful."
Love it. Thank you, Coach Randy. And by the way, anybody else, have you open an office? How's it going? Jay Frank, fire away. Thank you, Randy.
How's everybody doing? Yeah, so opened an office inside of took the basement of a mortgage company. Yeah, it's going well. It's really for the infrastructure for our agents that are in our organization, for being in front of them, doing live training, not only on Zoom and stuff like that, but it's also, we put a billboard up next to the office as well, right on the main road. So just so we can help agents get over the objection handler of, who is EXP? So we're just trying to build that brand recognition within our community. So my partner and I opened an office, and then another agent under me just opened up in another office in another county. So we're building that infrastructure up as well. So
Nice.
yeah, it's going really well. It's kind of a back and forth, because obviously we are a cloud brokerage, and it's like you don't want to necessarily have people dependent on the office, but you also want it to be an asset as well. So you don't want to, it's a balance, it's a mental balance right there. So but yeah, it's more of just overcoming brand recognition and overcoming objection handlers as well.
Right. Love it. I'm gonna real quick before we get to Tony and Andy, I want to say this. It does not go against the model. EXP shouldn't have them. You should have one. Now, with that said, Gene Frederick's done it without an office. There are people that have done this without an office. I think it's 20, 30%. Probably 70% of the people who went big with EXP have some sort of a hub. Mine was $950 a month. And then people joined me. We had 6, 7, 8 other offices, 10, 12 other offices at Regis. They could go, I want to get in that contagious proximity. And they're able to go get, some of them got a desk for $150 a month, but it was theirs 24/7, but they're right there in the hub. And so create that beehive, that hub. It does not go against the model. EXP shouldn't have any. You should have one. I think it would help you. Now, if you live remote, nobody you sponsor, then obviously you shouldn't have one. If you just love working from home, great. I just can't even tell you how much it's helped my business grow. People know where to find me. They know where the energy is. It is amazing. Tahoe Tony, fire away. He opened a beautiful office I've been to, I've spoken at in Incline Village. It's all glass. There's a restaurant next to it, surrounded by glass walls. It looks like an aquarium. It is beautiful. Tony, has that been helpful to you?
Yes, extremely helpful. You took away what I was going to say, though.
Sorry.
No, it's I had a very small office when I had my own independent brokerage, and then I started attracting agents in Klein Village, and 2 of them said, "Hey, why don't we get a bigger office together? We could have bigger events." And so we did. We remodeled it, and Brent's been there. Katie Deloso was there last week. Dylan Nanaka flew in to go snowboarding, so he did a class there. And we're really providing a lot of value to our community, because nobody else does that in our community. Nobody else has events. They're just giving value. And so that's been a big advantage. We've gotten, I think, 3 or 4 people in the last 2 months from these events.
Yeah. And his old it's a very niche market in in Klein Village. Homes could be 2 million or 20 million or 60 million. It's right on the lake at Lake Tahoe. But Tony, your old office, I had been there. It was upstairs at the end of the hallway, like hidden in the corner. And so your new office is right next to a very popular restaurant and just sits there like a trophy. The cool thing is I don't think it's super expensive. I mean, it's stunning. Stunning. And it's not huge. It's probably 1,000 square feet. I don't know. How much is the square footage there, you think? 1,000?
It's just under 1,000 square feet, I think. And we pay
900 square feet.
$1,600 a month.
$1,600 a month, position A, so consider an expense if it's right for you. If you can't afford that, don't do that.
But that's, I mean, I have partners helping to pay, they pay $600 a month, I pay $1,000. So,
Yep, there you go.
I mean, $1,000 a month, come on.
and you can get a mortgage partner to pay the other 1,000, you pay nothing, right? So there are opportunities for you to have that hub, and I think a hub is important. And, okay, thank you, Tony. Andy Zeg. Now, Andy is from Canada. We got our Canadian friend here. Andy, tell us what you got
Yes.
cooking, baby.
So yeah, we have a 2,000 square feet from original when I expanded. So, and we have our partners renting some of the private rooms here in the office. We got about, I think, 5, 6 office. And then about 7 months ago, we expanded to another 1,000 square feet where it's mainly open, where we do trainings over there. So we got about 3,000 square feet here. And then one of our partners here which is got another location about beginning of the year. So technically we have 2 locations right now here in GTA.
I love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Andy. Stud. And
Thank
by the
you.
way, I spoke up in Toronto yesterday. There was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents there. Only one reached out to me, Andy. He said, "Can my team have lunch with you at lunch?" So all these round tables, I just went and hang out with Andy's team because he asked. The people who had me come to Toronto, they're the ones who asked me. It was a 28-year-old young Indian woman who a year ago was homeless, and she literally was living on couches, scrubbing toilets and cleaning hotel rooms. And now she just put on a 400-person event with that $100 a ticket. And she called me up. I did not know her and said, "Would you come to Toronto and speak for me?" And I came. And it was like, wow, I can't believe you got Brent. Nobody else asked. Like, what is it in your head who thinks Gene Frederick won't help you? Tina Cole won't come for you. Kyle Whistle would never help you. What is that? What is that in your head? Glenn Sanford wouldn't help me. Michael Valdez won't help me. Leo Preja. Who do you dig? Jay Kenner, he'd never help me. Have you asked him? You guys reach out. Who rings your bell? Chuck from Phoenix. I forget Chuck's.
Fazio.
Thank you, Fazio. Chuck Fazio from Phoenix. Maybe his wife. She's amazing. Who is it that excites you that you're like, man, I got to get the speaker? Shelly Johnson's here. Her and Kevin, they just hit like 4,000 agents. Are you asking? So, okay, Diana, and then Brian.
Okay, hi. So I have a team office space where we have about 2,000 square feet, and it's got 5 private offices, a conference room, reception area, and then Amy Zimmerman, who's also on here, in the same complex. We're in the Chamber of Commerce complex in Northern Kentucky, just across the river from Cincinnati. She's got an office space there as well, where she has her team. But then together we have a shared office space that's called the Clubhouse. And the Clubhouse is located next to one of the busiest title companies in our area in the same building right next door to it, and in the Chamber of Commerce area. And it's got a huge open work area with, monitors, TVs, everything. And we can host meetings there. And then we've also got a conference room there. Because it's not, our team offices are branch offices, but because this is not a branch office, we can't put EXP on it. But it's kind of obvious that it's EXP because we've got a big X and, that sort of thing. But we've hosted a lot of different things in the past, trainings and different other events there. We honestly have not utilized it other than Amy does a really nice job doing some training and inviting other agents there now. In the past, we kind of did some things together, but time just gets away from us. So I'd love to have, suggestions on how we can utilize it, and maybe we get Brent to come and hang out at the Clubhouse with us, because Chuck and Angela have actually been to our Clubhouse a few times and done some things. So
Nice. Ask. You just got to ask people. Maybe they can make it, maybe they can't, but don't let that stop you. Brian, thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate that. Brian, I saw you raise your hand earlier.
Yeah, we do have an office. I was just gonna say exactly what she said. So it's not one of the sanctioned EXP. I didn't go through all the loops and hoops to make it an EXP branch or a branch office. So it's just heavily branded with the Our Team. But it does say the Our Team powered by EXP, and kind of everyone knows it's, like a local EXP place. So I have had people come that wanted to find out about EXP and just come to the office. So, but we use it primarily for the team, and we kind of get under that little that loop. That's kind of how we loophole it, is it's for the team.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you everyone who shared. So as you know, and Rob, maybe we can pull up 2 or 3 still pictures in a minute when I ask for it. If you have a few, he probably knows I'm getting that way. And so if you have 2 or 3, maybe the the Mammoth room, the Napa room, podcasting room, or my office, the main area. But then it's the welcome area, just 4 or 5 shots be fine, but not now. You on there, Rob. But I want to say this. There are people who don't have an office that are killing it. And I would like to congratulate James Massey, who literally just became an alpha today, which you have to have so many people in your group, all these things. It's a big deal. I don't necessarily like the name. Our president, Dave Kennard, came up with that name. Like, oh, we're alpha dogs, he's just trying to. So it was never something we gave ourselves. Dave did, and Dave had the best intention. I really wish they would rename that to, I don't know what, the chief janitors. I don't know. We're the biggest, the waiters. We'll call it the waiter. Like, we serve people, we love people. That's what we do. I don't. My name's terrible too. I don't know, but James, can you unmute yourself? Tell them how many agents are in your group, because you just literally joined Alpha today, and what that looks like a little bit for you. And I don't think you have an office. Do you have an office? So here's an example of somebody who's killing it without one, possibly. I'm not sure, but James, please, the floor is yours. And congratulations. Everybody give him some high fives, give him some thumbs up in the chat bar, put some thumbs up and some fire for him. How big is your organization now, James?
Thanks everybody. First of all, appreciate you, Brent, man. You've been helping a lot. So, 1,220 something right now.
You have over 1,200 agents.
Yeah.
You also have so many on your front line to qualify for Alpha, right?
Yeah. So, FLAs, total agents, that I've brought on, that's here, is 74. And on my FLQA is 25 now. A lot of agents that we brought on are new. When I say new, they probably came in within the last 3 to 4 or 5 months, kind of. So they're just now starting to get their traction and starting to have a closing. So hopefully, I'm looking to be over 30 here within the next 30, 45 days ish.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Unlock all 7 levels. Now, here's a great teaching moment for all of you. When someone says, how big's your revenue share organization? Say 400, 1,200. And how many people did you sponsor? Just say 25. You don't say 70. 70 can depress people. That is a number like, holy crap. However, do that. If you always ask me, if you ever hear me talk about it, I talk about sponsoring 25 people in 5 months. It's all I ever talk about. None of you actually know how many people I sponsor, because I've never talked about it. It's not important. What's important is the 25 people I sponsored in a 5-month period of time. It truly was what did. It's like shaking a can of Coke, popping the top, it explodes. It creates momentum. And so you guys are 5 months away from exploding your business. But what you do is you stretch it out. Instead of doing 5 in 5 months, you do 5 in 5 years. You'll sponsor 25 in 5 years. And so now what I did, that will do is give you thousands. You want to have thousands sponsor 5 and 25 in 5 months. Who are the 25 people who sell at least 10 homes a year, or 30 homes a year, or 50 homes a year? They're not broker owners. They're not big teams. Good luck steering that ship. Who can move quickly are us. I'm not saying broker owners can't do it. They certainly can. It's not who I went after at all. And so if you will sponsor the people with good energy and plug them into the system, write this down. EXP is owned by the biggest promoters. James Massey, I said, hey, I'm going to be in Atlanta last week. I was at the Create conference. And I go, if you want, I can meet with a handful of your leaders for dinner. What's James do? Rent a side room at the hotel I'm staying at and put 35 leaders in a room. And we blew it up all night long. It was awesome. And so he, of course, he's a leader. That's what he does. And so the more people you get to events, the faster your business grows. And so you got builds coming up. You get all the builds coming up. By the way, Rob, are you there?
I am here.
And did you have a chance to pull up any pictures of our new office by chance?
I don't have any stills, but I do have some that
All right,
can
we can
kind of
show some
look through.
video. That's the Napa office, just to show people. So of course it's got all kinds. Look at the stitching on the chairs. We had so much fun. Wait till those trees blossom. It'll be beautiful. It's all restoration hardware and some really cool, vibey, fun stuff. Chandeliers hanging all over the office. So that's the mammoth room there. Oh, Everest. That's Everest. Yep, Everest room. And we just created a fun. Now this is just a splurge. You don't need this. I just got this 3 weeks ago. It's a splurge because I wanted to, but it's a great hub. Like I couldn't imagine doing it without my office. Gene Frederick couldn't imagine doing it with an office. So if you want to do it without an office, have at it. I love having the synergy of an event. Now we don't do any meetings there as far as recruiting meetings. They're all done at the Board of Realtors. What is the Board of Realtors? A neutral turf. Well, our Board of Realtors sucks. Okay, then go somewhere else. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. Apparently they have a horrible Board of Realtors here in Baltimore, Maryland. Where'd we go? A Mexican food restaurant. And we got there at 10 a.m. They have a huge side room, packed it out. And then at 12:30, we served lunch, bins of beans and rice and fish and chicken and steak and people guacamole and salsa. And we fed them all lunch. It was super inexpensive because we do plated, we do bins. And then I did a quick EXP explained after about a 30-minute break for those that want to stick around. Super low key. Hey, if you got to go. And it was packed. We had so many guests there and they're all signing up. And so what do? We made deposits like a bank, and then we made withdrawals like a bank. But first, you make deposits. And so you invite people in, maybe like Kurt Shewell, or maybe like Nolly Williams, or maybe like Jay Nelson, or Ashley Nelson, or Veronica Figueroa. These people will help you. You don't ask, right? And like, well, I don't want to bother them. That's you being prideful. I ask everybody all the time for help. Man, I need a lot of help. And so just relax. I'm going to do it myself. How's that going for you? A do yourself program. This is a French company called We. We do this together. So a couple things I want to share with you. One, this weekend, I went to an event in Dorado. It's called The Dinner Table. It's a group of 50 families. They own manufacturing, hedge funds. They've sold companies for 200 million, 100 million. Like Kathy and I were the poorest couple there. And these are pretty, some of them sold their companies for $1 billion, some of them billions. They're all there. And it's all about not passing on an inheritance to our children. I mean, this is the basic estate planning, all that. It's about passing on heritage. What does your family stand for? What do you stand for? What mark do you want to make on this planet? Like, what do you want your family to be known for in 500 years? You ever thought about like you're a patriarch, man? You're a matriarch, like, or just, hey, yeah, my uncle Brent, my aunt Kathy, and my grandpa Brent. I don't know, but like, what legacy do you want to impact this earth? What do you want to be known for? So it's pretty cool. And one of the things the speaker said is, hey, you always hear the saying, play chess, not checkers. You guys ever heard that? Learn to become a chess player. Be a grand master champion chess player. In checkers, you just kind of, move through the board, work your way to the other end. It's pretty children play. It's a children's game. And they're always saying, hey, play chess. Chess, very sophisticated, requires a lot of strategy. Hey, there's 7 moves ahead. There's 17 moves ahead. There's so many dimensions to the game of chess. The Russian chess masters, and it's fun. People play worldwide, and they're always saying, when it comes to your real estate career, play chess. And I don't disagree with that. And work on your business, not just in it. Of course, you guys are here. There's 85 of you, and you're working on your business, not just in it. Working in it is meeting someone for coffee and talking about EXP or showing property or going a listing appointment. playing the model explained is you're working into it. But sometimes you guys are all 85 of you are hearing about, oh, a hub. Never thought I didn't know I could do that with the mortgage company. I didn't know a title company might help me out. I didn't know I could do this with XYZ company, or I could get a space like Tahoe Tony for $1,600. And then two of my agents pay 600. I pay 1,000. The mortgage broker could say, hey, can I come down and work out? I'll give you $1,000 a month in this cost, or I'll give you 5,000 a month. And he actually makes 4,000 a month on that office. It could happen. You don't know. And so you could actually have it as a source of revenue to help pay for going to build Cabo or to do special magical moments for your team. So play chess, not checkers. But what was really fun is the guy who said that, he goes, but you ever think about checkers? There's actually something to learn from checkers. We were talking about identity. And in checkers, you're like a minnow in the shallows. Like you're just trying to get across that board without getting jumped. You don't want to get jumped and get taken off the board, right? And you jump enough checkers and you take out the other guy. And it's like you ever feel in life you're like a minnow in the shadows. Like remember Nemo? Don't go to the drop off. What happened to the drop off? The big fish will come up and they'll eat you. Don't go to the drop off, Nemo. And it's like, okay, Dad, I won't go to the drop off. What do? We go right to the drop off with our buddies and look over the edge and go, oh, he's right. That's scary. And they play games on the drop off. And so, but I realized something happens with your identity. Like in the game of chess, are you a pawn? Are you a castle? Are you knight? Are you king? Are you a queen? In the game of checkers, this got me so doggone excited. I kind of forgot about this. I want to ask you this question. What happens when you get to the other side with your little minnow darting in the shallows, trying to get to this? You finally get to the other side. What happens, baby? Anybody know? Unmute yourself.
Ping me.
Ping me, baby. I'm in a restaurant right now. King me, baby. And then they freaking king you. And you go from being a minnow in the shallows to you're a king. And you turn around. And what happens? You playing defense or you playing offense? What are you doing if you're a king? Oh, baby, you be playing some serious offense. You go from trying to survive selling homes and real estate to playing offense. You're a king. So let me ask you a question. Do you see yourself as a king? Well, it's kind of arrogant. Do you see yourself as a queen? Well, it's kind of narcissistic. Well, it all depends. You ever see the movie Camelot with Sean Connery? What did he create? The Knights of the Round Table, one for all and all for one. And so there are good kings and there are bad kings, good queens and bad queens. I'm talking about a benevolent king, a benevolent queen, one that she lays their life down for other. The betterment, they serve the kingdom before themselves. They're thinking of other people's. They're a light. The king is here. The queen is back. The Queen of England. And you're a light. And so I'm telling you, you may not believe it, but God made you to be light in a dark world. And as the world gets darker, you get lighter. You don't go get a bug out property with your 22 caliber guns and your machine guns and make sure you have a water source. Make sure you got your food stored. And if anybody comes up, you got the higher ground, you shoot them with your guns. I mean, we've all heard this on Y2K talks and your bug out properties because all hell's going to go loose in the world. And so, man, write this down. Contagious proximity. We've all heard proximity is power. How about contagious proximity? Who are you hanging out with? You hang out with certain people, you'll go buy a piece of land in Idaho or Montana. We're going to farm. We got a water source and to hell with everybody. And if anyone comes on my property, I'm going to shoot them. And if you start hanging out with people like that, it rubs off on you. Who are you hanging out with, man? Let me tell you what, you, myself included, were meant to be lights in the darkness. Hope to the hopeless. You're meant to be a lighthouse, not a dark house. Don't put your light under a bushel, hide it under the bed, put it out, be a beacon of hope. Enter the room and lift the room. You're room lifters. So I want you to know your identity is important. If you see yourself as a pawn, you'll act and behave like a pawn. Maybe you're a knight. Oh, step up there. But I'm telling you, every one of you is a king and a queen. What all that means is that you love, you serve, you give, you're benevolent, you're kind, you do the right thing. Doesn't mean you're flawless. Doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes. So final question I have for you. So how do you change your identity? If identity is so important, because your identity has you living in the house you live in. Your identity has you driving the car you drive, the investments you have or don't have. Your identity has you giving money to orphans and widows, building homes for people. Kathy and I got to build a home for someone in Puerto Rico, give it to them, and then play 100-year blessing over their children's children. Because in Puerto Rico, they don't sell their homes; they give it to their kids, and they give it to their grandkids. We played 100 and just give them the house, built the house from scratch. It's yours. Their home fell down in an earthquake. They were living in a shipping container for 4 years with the 10-year-old and the 12-year-old when we found them. And so we built them a house. And just to be able to do it, what 501c3 is that? It's not. It's just, we just did it. But what are you going to do? So how do you change your identity? I want to end with this. You go to 10X next week in Miami. Google it, get a ticket, buy a ticket from someone. You go to UPW, you go to John Maxwell, you go to the Create Conference. I was there last weekend. You go to a weekend like the dinner table. You know, I think it's sold out. You can't even get in, but you know, when opportunities present themselves, you take the opportunity. You go to Build, you go to Cabo, you make it happen. And I'll end with this. When you make a decision to do something great in your life, I'm doing good. Andre's always working and he's watching me now. I must be doing better. I always watch you, Andre. You're always working your bottom off on these 1% clubs. It's pretty funny. But here's the deal. How do you change? Because your identity matters. Like, I always hear identity. Tony Robbins talk about identity and it just didn't set well with me. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting it. It's like how you change your identity is you go to Build. You go to EXP Con, you go to high level meetings, you know, 10X, UPW, Grant Cardone, Create. There's all kinds of, you know, stuff. Francis Chan does stuff. Simon Sinek does stuff. And you get around people who think at a higher level and they want something for you. They don't want something from you. And so when you start operating in that, it's powerful. People could feel it on you. And you'll actually attract more people in your life. You'll become that attracting personality. You enter the room and you lift it. It's like, oh, I'm here. But you walk in and you're there to love, serve, and give, you know, and you assume everybody loves you. People are like, do they like me? What do they think? It's like, you know, everybody loves me. That's what I think. But does everyone love me? No, I'm well aware of that. But here's the deal. Everybody loves me. And it's a better life when you're like, oh God, just Diana Caldwell like me. Just, oh, Karen Sweat. She looked at me funny. Does she like me? David Mills. I don't know if David likes me. You just assume they love me until they say, you know what, I think you're a real piece of work. And they read it. Okay, maybe they're not a big fan, but it's okay. It's my job to love them. And so when you can love and not require it come back to you, you're good. And so I really want to challenge you this year, go to stuff. I've been doing this for 40 years. I've been reading the books, going to stuff, and it's just so freeing, man. So I hope you enjoyed today's 1% Club. If you want to get a hub, get a hub. And if you don't, don't. And we will see you in 6 minutes for a 10-minute Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. I'm actually going to teach it today, and I'm really excited about what I'm going to share. So if you got to go, go. And if you want to stick around for 5.5 more minutes, I'm going to start.
Can I just say something?
Yeah. Did I leave somebody out? Go ahead. Yes.
If you can't afford the office space, we have a coffee meet every Tuesday morning at Regis Spaces in the community area. And it really keeps you connected with peers if you're feeling alone, if you're new, or, you know, that's something that we do every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And it's a great way to feel more connected when you can't afford it.
Gather. Where are you located, Joanne? Up in Halifax?
Halifax, or Dartmouth is the Regis office we use for connecting that way, though. It's
Get on a plane.
free parking. It's easy in and out, whereas Halifax is downtown. It's hard to park. Where, you know.
Get on a plane, get to Halifax, have coffee with Joanne.
There you go. Love to have you for
Local.
coffee.
All right. Love you guys. We'll see you in 4.5 minutes. Bye.